against the sight of armored trucks rolling down Canal Street, flanked by armed ICE agents, some of them masked, all of them with bulletproof vests and tactical gear. Swarms of New Yorkers trying to stop immigration sweeps, targeting vendors selling knockoff goods, many of them West African descent.
Earlier this week in New York City on famed Canal Street, federal agents from 5 different departments raided a ton of vendors, including with help from ICE, the Immigrations and Custom Enforcement Agency, in order to shut down the sale of counterfeit goods and illegal immigrants working and not paying taxes in New York. Let's talk about it. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, everybody. And this is a huge problem in this country, not just in New York City. And that's the sale of counterfeit, illegal knockoff goods. Coach, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, you name it. They counterfeit it and they sell it. And one of the most notorious places in this country, in the United States of America, is New York City, specifically Canal Street. I'll throw a screenshot up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Canal Street is known for having hundreds and hundreds of vendors openly out on the street selling their merchandise, their t-shirts, their purses, their handbags, their wallets, their sunglasses, their perfumes, and 98% of it, I did a story on this years ago, 98% of it is presumed to be counterfeit, to be fake. I did a story about a lady that was raided selling this goods. They tracked it back to her warehouse with her employees, and they had over like $3 million in retail value worth of goods, and that was one little booth, and there are hundreds of them. So earlier this week, 5 federal agencies decided enough is enough, and they raided Canal Street. ICE, HSI, Homeland Security, the Department of everything you could think of. It was not the NYPD, not the local police department. It was all federal agents raided. They descended on Canal Street, they raided them, they arrested people, they confiscated millions of dollars in fake goods, and a lot of people had a lot of problems with it. There was protesters, there were anti-ICE people, there was anything and everything in between trying to stop them from doing their jobs. And I don't put my politics here, I don't go out on a limb, but I will say, as far as ICE and the HSI and Homeland Security go, that's a whole nother political issue. But the issue of counterfeit goods, knockoffs, I cannot stand. It hurts those companies, their brand names that they've worked to build, no matter what you think of them. And it hurts those of us trying to do legitimate business. So I'm not at all in support of people that are out there openly selling that stuff. So I'm okay with them being arrested and them having their merchandise seized and taken away from them. Let's check out some clips, and you can let me know what you think in the comment section about all of these people out on Canal Street and the raid that happened. So that clip shows us a little bit of people being confronted and arrested. A majority of these people, and it's just factual, there's nothing race or anything else intended for this, but it is a lot of Asian folks and a lot of West African folk that you will see down there on these streets selling their goods. You just saw a couple of them getting arrested. Let's check out another clip that gets a little more crazy and a little more insane. Also, this raid was conducted at rush hour in the middle of the afternoon, so pretty crazy when there was a ton of people right there in front of it, and that's why it got so out of control really, really quickly.
This was Canal Street on Tuesday afternoon when federal ICE agents descended on the block known for street vendors, arresting 9 of them and 4 protesters. Now this was Canal Street on Wednesday, pretty much a ghost town. Many of the usual vendors had disappeared. Some of them arrested and some of them just too scared to come back. But some spoke to us about what they saw and how they felt.
And this is America, the country that everybody run to, the country people go to. When they feel safe in America.
I gotta stop the video right there. She's wearing a purse that appears to have maybe the Chanel logo or the Gucci, whatever it is, it's fake. I can tell you right now, I'm looking at it, it's fake. There's no question in my mind what she's wearing is fake. And she's arguing about being able to work. You're working, but you're working illegally, and that's the problem. If you're selling counterfeit knockoff goods that you got from your country in Africa or Asia for $5 and you're trying to sell them for $40 or $50 when they're $3,000 bags, you're committing a crime. Even if you're here legally, you're still committing a crime.
And he asked me ID again. I said, am I committing any crime? And he took off. Why did you call with your fit? Will you hire the employee to call with the fit and go out there to harass people? I want to see what you look like.
The Department of Homeland Security said they made these arrests because some of these people were involved in criminal activity. One of those detained was Abubakar Diakite, and those who knew him said he never did anything wrong.
I know him. I know him for the last 25 years. I see him every day. He's a hard-working man. He go to work and go home. He have a vendor's license. He's not illegal or selling fake like they said on the news in the first time. No, this man sells cell phone cases, and he's been doing it for the last 16 years that I know.
The vendor still on the street Wednesday said the whole thing had left them totally shaken.
What if Abu was me? What would happen to my kids?
Like and follow our coverage for up.
They argue that their goods are not fake, but it's just factual. Every time they raid these places, they pull this merchandise, and it's fake. It's all fake. You can't sell a $1,000 Gucci bag for $20 on the side of Canal Street. It's just not possible. They can argue it till they're blue in the face. Their merchandise is fake. Nobody's selling real, legitimate $1,000 purses and handbags and $500 sunglasses is doing it out of a tent on the side of Canal Street in downtown New York. It's simply just not happening. All right, now we're gonna see a wild scene where the vendors that are being arrested are getting handled, and the other people see what's going on and they pack up real quick and make a break for it. Check this one out. This is wild.
Un amplio operativo federal de ICE y el Departamento de Seguridad Nacional sacudió este martes Canal Street, en el corazón de Chinatown, Manhattan.
So obviously I don't speak fluent Spanish, that's what it appears to be, but you can see these people packing up their bags and rolling out, running for it. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, if you're selling legitimate goods, you're on the up and up, you're legal, and you're here doing everything the way you should be, you don't pack up and run. You pack up and run because you know you're not doing things the way you're supposed to and you're up to no good. Maybe I'm wrong, I mean, maybe I'm not wrong, but that's just me. I'm not running away from something if I'm doing the up and up, so take it for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt, but I'm certain that 98 or 99% of these are fake goods. Now, inevitably, when this type of thing happens, you always have protesters, people that think the police should stay out, shouldn't be doing these things. They just don't understand the legalities and what's going on. So let you take a look at the protest that happened. And then, as always, the comment section belongs to you. And you can let me know what you think about these raids and about these people selling illegal stuff or counterfeit goods or whatever you want to say down in the comment section. As always, I'll respond to as many as I can. And I'll try to feature some in some upcoming videos.
New Yorkers rage against the sight of armored trucks rolling down Canal Street, flanked by armed ICE agents, some of them masked, all of them with bulletproof vests and tactical gear. Swarms of New Yorkers trying to stop immigration sweeps, targeting vendors selling knockoff goods, many of them West African descent. As the agents were surrounded, it was not just migrants in their crosshairs, American citizens thrown to the ground in the clash, then hauled away for getting in the way of their operation. The resistance from New Yorkers forced the feds to retreat and regroup to grow their presence then in Foley Square outside their offices at Federal Plaza. Mayor Adams' office condemning the actions, urging ICE to go after violent criminals instead.
And I will not stand for it, and all of these people won't stand for it. We're New Yorkers.
Horrifying because it was like more than 50 grown men pushing everybody out of the way.
New Yorkers care about each other, and we will protect each other and defend each other against all of this kind of crap.
They are pushing us out of the way. There's no right to push us out of the way. We have every right to protest peacefully.
None of this is about public safety. It is about fear and chaos.
DHS said in a statement, rioters shouting obscenities became violent and obstructed law enforcement duties, including blocking vehicles and assaulting law enforcement. And according to the NYPD, 2 people were taken into custody, a 32-year-old man who was issued a summons and then released, and a 34-year-old woman who was arrested and charged with blocking traffic and resisting arrest. We're live on Canal Street. I'm Kalorama, Pixel.
So that's actually, like, they're there and they can protest on a public sidewalk. They can't block the street. That's not allowed. You can't just stand in the middle of the street. We've been through this for years and years in this country, and I think we all understand and know, no matter what you think you can do, you can't block traffic to protest. You got to be on the ease, you got to be on the sidewalk, you got to be in the median, you got to be somewhere where you're allowed to be. In the middle of traffic, you are not allowed to be. Also, if you are stopping the police officers from doing their legal duty, arresting people, raiding, doing whatever it is, whether you agree with it or not, that's called obstruction. That's a crime. You can't interfere with a police officer's legal duties. They are legally there. They have a right to be there. And if just one of those arrests turns out to be legitimate, then you have now interrupted them. You have impeded their progress, and you are going to go to jail for obstructing. You're obstructing their legal duties. Now, I'm not the biggest supporter of some police. I'm the biggest supporter of a lot of police. There are bad ones just like there are in any other occupation, but you can't do it. You can't break the law no matter what you think of the police, whether you support them, whether you don't. And I'm a huge supporter of police. When I have a problem, I want them to show up, do their job. My neighbor is a police officer for the department, for Tampa PD. I love them. I have a lot of officers around me, and a lot that I've interacted with. Few that watch this channel, you know who you are. With the sheriff's office, and they're great people. But if somebody's doing their job, even if you don't like the police, you can't stop them. You can't interrupt them. It's a crime, and you'll go to jail. All right, we got 2 more clips I want to show you guys. I want to share with you, and it's about the rioting and the raids and people trying to stop it, and how people in this country feel about the way the police department and ICE and the federal agents do their job, essentially.
Is in New York City, and okay, my friends, I was just driving down the street, I was Ubering, and I saw this huge market of African migrants selling all of these bags along this sidewalk. The sidewalk was actually completely full of people, so I was like, okay, pull over, let me see what's going on. Now, I'm walking along this street, and the entire sidewalk was completely packed with people buying these Louis Vuitton bags, buying these YSL bags, obviously.
By the way, them being on the sidewalk is even illegal. Now, there's rules about vendor's license and locations and things like that, but 90% from what I understand is of these people either don't have the vendor license, they're not allowed to be where they are, and they're not allowed to be blocking the sidewalk like that. It's just nobody does anything about it because it's so widespread that it's been there forever.
All of them are knockoffs. Now, I spoke to some of the migrants. They were telling me they're all from Senegal. And as I'm walking around, they all start grabbing their bags very quickly. Again, this entire block was filled with all of these bags. And they picked them all up very quickly. Within 2 minutes, they all started jumping in vehicles, running away. I was speaking to one of the migrants, and he ended up telling me that they don't have the license to sell these purses. It's illegal, and if the cops catch them, they will come and take away all of their products. Another thing that I noticed too.
There you go. There's one of the migrants openly admitting they don't have a license, what they're selling is illegal, and if they get caught, they're going to lose all their merchandise and go to jail. That's one of the migrants. They're all from Senegal. Nobody from Senegal is buying real merchandise, selling it on the street, legitimately, with a license, authentic goods, and doing what these guys are doing. They know what they're doing is illegal. Why are we even having this argument or discussion that any one of these people is selling legitimate goods? They're not. They're counterfeit, and I, for one, think that the police should go down there every single day for a week, a month, 3 months straight, and take every single bag and every single illegal piece of merchandise that they have, round it up, take it, burn it, destroy it, and do it until these people stop showing up. Because if they don't have somewhere to sell their goods, they will stop getting their goods and they will stop doing this. All right, final video I'm going to show you guys, and this is, of course, the people who are the most angry at the ICE agents, and they're letting them know it. And there's a young man who is going to give you a breakdown of just what he thinks. Check it out.
Shame! 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 Now we got these protesters going after
lunatic liberals. I'm sorry.
You're calling these people lunatic liberals now?
Yeah, they're lunatic liberals here. I mean, look at these people. They don't even know what they're arguing for. It's really a shame. Most people aren't educated. Most people don't know how law enforcement functions work in this country. If half these people knew what, our laws are of this country and how law enforcement acts and how they're going about this, they wouldn't be this mad. I think it's an education problem,
You think this is a left and right issue, or do you think it's just a law and order issue?
I think it's a law and order issue. I think people don't respect the laws of of this country, and this is the outcome of that. We should support our law enforcement and everything they do for us on a daily basis. Yeah. See, my point proven. Uneducated, they're just angry. It's pure emotion, zero logic from here. They don't know what they're arguing about. They have no idea.
And what are you guys arguing about with the police officers right now?
Bro, if the cops weren't here, I would beat your ass right now.
Really?
That's a crime. If I was you'd be arrested, you know, but...
So this is where I have the biggest problem. Left, right, liberal, middle, whatever, conservative, a Green Party, independent. If the police are doing something to stop crime in this country, this illegal counterfeiting, which, no, it's not a violent crime, but it does support terrorism in a lot of cases. That money goes back, ends up in the hands of people that are terrorists or these bad countries. And also, it, again, hurts us that do realistic, real, legit selling and have authentic goods and have to fight to prove our stuff because all this fake stuff exists. The police are trying to stop that. Even though it's not a violent crime, let them stop it. Why are you so passionate about supporting the criminals and not supporting what will help our country? It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe somebody in the comment section can make it make sense like I'm a 6-year-old, because all I see are police officers doing their jobs, trying to round up these bad people, trying to round up these illegal goods, stop this counterfeiting, and stop this bad, business, this bad money flow in this country. And you've got people in their faces committing obstruction and yelling and screaming and threatening simply because they're emotional, they're angry. They don't even, he's right, they don't even understand what they're arguing about or what they're arguing for or against. They're just trying to hurt the police because they don't like the police, or they're trying to hurt the government because they think this is a right versus left thing, and it's not. I'm not going to get political, but this is a law and order. Do the right thing, and these people need to stop with the counterfeit goods because it does not help the reselling business in the least bit. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm wrong, but make it make sense. Like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll read the comments, respond to as many of them as I can. As always, thank you for being here. If you could hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, come back, watch future videos, and let me know which ones you like the best, and I will try to highlight some of your comments in upcoming videos. So stay tuned, because you might show up on the channel. You never know. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.